The organizers had planned it to be part of a general Sikh uprising against British rule in India. Now, this was encouraged by the Germans, who really hoped that India was ready for revolution, much as they'd hoped for a similar uprising in Egypt during the fighting over the Suez Canal 2 weeks ago. But again, it was not to be. British soldiers carried out the executions of the ringleaders of the uprising in Singapore, and 37 of them were shot. In India, where the revolt was to be on a much larger scale, the whole plan had actually been betrayed by a police spy before it could begin, and the people in charge were rounded up. 18 of them were hanged. The British overseas possessions saw more action this week in the Sinai, where British and Egyptian troops secured Tor from Turkish attacks and influence. Tor is a small port down the Red Sea coast from the Suez Canal, which the Ottoman Empire had failed to capture a couple of weeks ago. But Tor had been another objective of theirs, since from that tiny port, mines could be floated out into the Red Sea to wreak havoc with Allied shipping coming to and from the canal. Also this week, the German submarine blockade began on the 18th. And so that's where we stand, with the Russians driven out of East Prussia and the slopes of the Carpathians, but with the Germans and the Austrians finally unable to advance and breaking off their offensives. While in the West, the French continue their policy of countless attacks against small, strategic targets as the death toll rises and rises. And a mutiny, of course, the first large-scale one of the war, far from Europe, heck, far from India even, at the edge of the British Empire. But you have to think that things like this are to be expected, right? It would continue over the years. We'd see it in the French army, the Australians, the German Navy, but you'd see it everywhere else in a smaller form. For an organized mutiny is just a group version of I quit. That we see every single day of the war in every single army, as soldiers desert, or hide to wait out a battle, or walk into an enemy bullet intentionally, or just shoot themselves, just saying, I quit. I am in a tiny metal tube beneath the sea, and the only time I come to the surface is to kill a ship full of sailors that aren't even from the country I'm at war with. I quit. I'm from the south of India, and now I'm fighting in snow, which I've never even seen before. I'm looked down on and belittled as subhuman by many of the men on my side, but I'm expected to lay down my life for them, as I've seen dozens of my mates do in the past week. 10 million stories of despair. This was modern war.